This is how I connect with my ancestors. And he looked at the name, he was like, Yerzhan Imanmalik. You're not from here, are you? I'm like, how did you know? He's like, you smile too much. And if you ever want to check if your farts are flammable, they are. My name's Yerzhan. I'm a data scientist. I work in IT, you know, and I noticed that IT guys were not good at communication, at oral. Yeah, we're good with our fingers though, but yeah. So I had this one colleague, you know, and he was a brilliant guy, but he was so bad at explaining things that I could see my manager's face change, like during his talk, you know. He'd be like, just text it to me. Yeah, but to be fair, you know, he wasn't a native speaker. C++ was his native language. Yes, nerdy crowd! But I actually ended a toxic relationship a couple of years ago, you know. Yeah, thank you. She was hot, but and rich, but you know, so bitchy. And her name was Moscow. Moscow, Russia. Yeah, she you know, she was racist, mistaking me for the delivery guys, you know. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. But I was with her for the money. Yeah. But her dad was very weird, you know, like ex-KGB agent, you know, had problems with boundaries, you know. Crossing them all the time, messing with his neighbors, you know. So I was like, nah, this is not for me. Yeah. And they say if you can't change the problem, you should change your attitude to the problem, right? But it's a solid advice when it's not coming from your doctor. Because doctor is the person you come to change your problems, you know, like fix your problems. And I had a story when I was in Moscow, so I came to a doctor, and I was like, hey, doctor, look, when I sit like this, my knees hurt. And he was like, don't sit like this. It's bad for your knees. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, no shit. But I grew up in Tastak here, you know? This is my power pose. This is how I connect with my ancestors. Yeah. And at the time I was living in the outskirts of Moscow, and like the toilet infrastructure was awful there. And I was like, man, I can't really afford to lose this ability. I really need it. Yeah. But it's good that it was just my knees. Imagine if it was something else, like more important, like my grandpa. Like, what if I brought my grandpa and like he's hurting, and the doctor would be like, is this your favorite grandparent? You have 3 more, right? Yeah, no. But you know, he killed me at the end. You know, he looked at me and he looked at the name. He was like, Yerzhan Imanmalik. You're not from here, are you? I'm like, how did you know? He's like, you smile too much. Well, I dated an adventurous girl who dated a girl before me, you know? And I gotta say, I learned a lot of shit. Yeah, like... Yeah, it was very useful. Like, for example, I learned to spot a dominant lesbian in a relationship. Yeah? Yeah, I learned some other things as well, you know, like, for example, I learned to go down on a girl from someone who actually has the experience. Ladies. Yeah, but I felt the pressure, the constant pressure to represent, because, you know, you have to represent not only yourself, you have to represent men now in the bedroom. What if you disappoint, right? Yeah, you don't want to be that guy who turned her and she lost all hope. Yeah, but she told me I did well, you know. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah, probably because I had a bigger dick than her ex. But it's not the only place where you should represent, you know? Like, for example, I went to Vietnam, and so I was performing there in open mics, and you have to explain, like, you're from Kazakhstan, and like you're culturally Muslim, Russian-speaking, Central Asian, and they're like, culturally Muslim, that's interesting. What is that? I'm like, well, how to explain? I don't pray 5 times a day. I pray every time I'm about to board the plane. Yeah, and I see too many sketchy people boarding with me. I'm like, God, please, if you are to take them, don't do it now. I saw some interesting things over there on the streets. Like, I saw a rooster on the street, you know? And I was so excited. I never thought I'd be so excited to see a Vietnamese cock, you know? Yeah, I never thought I'd see a cock on the street anymore, since the last time I drank with my uncle. Yeah, and he fucked me. No, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding, guys. He's too old. So I fucked him. Yeah, and some more cock jokes. They have cock fighting, you know, like they make roosters fight, and they call a champion, they call him Quan Quan, which means a champion, right? And the loser, they call them Americans. Yeah. Yeah, and one last bit, you know, like I have a younger brother, and he studies in the US because he's a favorite child. Yeah, and before he went there, I sat him down and I tried to give him some brotherly wisdom, you know? I'm like, man, you know, if you mix up your drinks in the evening, don't plan anything for the next day. Or if your one-night stand tells you not to wear a condom, that's a great hint to wear a condom. Yeah. And if you ever want to check if your farts are flammable, they are. Yeah. The queefs burn well. You know, the loud ones are explosive. Don't check it with your pants down. Yeah. And let it be the only gaslighting you ever do in your life. So thank you.